Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter, and I'm coming on today because I'm making Christmas decorations, little decorations for the tree, which I think are great fun and really easy. Definitely a project that you can do in front of the TV while you've got your favourite soap on, nice cup of coffee and maybe a box of chocolates next to you. So anyway, I'm going to show you. I'm going to start off by using this large piece of paper to show you the fold. But what you want is 8 pieces of paper to make this decoration, or 16 if you're going to make the double one. Well, I'll show you that when we get to it. But what you're going to do is you're going to take 18 pieces of paper that are twice the length as the depth. So this is 8 inches by 4 inches, and you can do it by using 4 by 2 inches, 2 by 1 if you want to go really small, but I'll show you the sizes when we get to it. So the fold you're going to do is incredibly easy. You're just going to do this one fold on all of your pieces of paper. So you've got your paper, you're just going to fold it in half. Now you're not going to crease all the way. We're folding it in half just as we can find our middle point, and we're just going to pinch one end. We're not going to crease all the way along. Just pinch one end there and open it, and then we'll use this. So let me grab my pencil and I can show you. So there's where I've pinched there. So you can see that's the rough, not roughly, that is the middle of this long side. So what you're going to do is pop your finger there to hold it and bring one of your corners, doesn't matter which one, down and line up this edge here with your bottom edge here. We're creating a triangle. So pop it on down there, and then, oops, that slipped. Let me hold that with my thumb. Make sure you've got a nice crisp point on this end, and grabbing your bone folder, let me grab mine and get back to where we are. You're going to fold and crease along that line. Okay, so we've created that little bit of a triangle, and then we're going to do exactly the same on this side. I find it easier to turn it all the way around so that I'm now working at the other side, but we're going to take this corner and line this edge up with here, and that should line this edge up with that bottom piece. So bring it across, line it up there, and as you can see it lines up with the top there, and we get a nice point at the end, and again crease it, and that is our fold. That's all we need to do, but we're going to do that 8 times. Once you've done that, and I do it in batches, I don't do it one at a time, so I'll sit and I'll fold all of my pieces like this. Then I'll get my glue, and taking, it doesn't matter which side, I always tend to go this side just because I'm right-handed. You're then going to pop some glue on this panel, not all the way, we're not going to go down here. Just pop a little bit on there, and as you can see I've only gone as far as there. I'm not going all the way down, because what we're then going to do is bring this panel across and glue this piece to this piece. So we're just going to bring it across like that and create that shape. So I'm just going to pinch that while I smooth everything down inside. And we're creating that shape. And we're going to do that 8 times. So let me pop that to one side and I'll show you the papers I'm actually using. So I've got 8 pieces of, oh, what size were these? These were 3 by 1.5, I think. Yeah, 3 by 1.5. So I'm going to do exactly the same on these. Roll them over, join those 2 up, pinch there, So I've just pinched my paper there like that, and then putting my finger there and bringing this down to create a triangle, getting a nice sharp point on this end before creasing it down, and again my bone folder, and then do exactly the same on this side to create a nice size triangle. Sometimes it's a little bit fiddly, so again I'm going to do this. Well, let me show you one at a time. Normally I would fold all of them and then glue. So once you've got to that point, you're going to put glue on one or the other side, doesn't matter which side you do. Don't go all the way down to this point here because it's going to be outside. Bring that across, and we're bending this, the large piece at the back, so that we get a nice roll to it, and line that all up, and using your fingers make sure that the glue is pushed into your paper. So then we've got another one, and as you can see, much dinkier than the other one. And we're going to do the same with our green piece. Now I'm using two different colours on my decoration, but you can go with 1, 2, 3, whatever patterns or whatever floats your boat. You can either use glitter card if you can, if you're going to do a bigger one. I wouldn't use glitter card if you were doing this size, this 3 by 1.5 size, because it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to manipulate your card into these little shapes, because they are smaller they get, the more fiddly they get. And again, once I've got my triangle shape like that, I'm going to pop some glue on one of these leaves, not being too careful about it, it won't be seen. And once we've done that, I'm taking this leaf over and lining up that edge there with that crease there, so we have a nice shape. And this then bends on this side, it bends, so we've got a nice shape going on like that. Right, now once you've done that 8 times, bring the rest in, the ones I've already done. Whoops. What I like to do is, because we're making a star shape and I'm alternating my my papers, so if I show you what we're going to end up with, that shape. So to do that I need a circle of card to glue it all to. So I'm just, this is my 1.5 inch punch. You can use any size punch you've got. I wouldn't go much smaller than 1.5 inches, because otherwise it will be a little bit too fiddly. Right, so all I'm going to do is get my glue, and I'm going to glue all over my circle, going quite close to those edges, all the way around like that, and then all over the bit in the middle, because we want our papers to have plenty of purchase on there. So that's that. And then I'm going to bring in, I tend to bring in 4 at a time, which I know seems a bit much, but because I'm using wet glue, I've got a bit of time to manipulate. So I'm going to just lift up those 2 and place them down like that, and you want that to be sort of like a straight line. Then bring in the next 2. You should have plenty of room to bring those in. And I'm going to bring these in, not too close. Try and get them as much to the to the centre as you can, but don't worry too much about it if you can't. That one hasn't got a very sharp point on, so I'm going to just swap it for a different one. I've got lots. I've just been sat making loads, so that one's got a better sharp point, so that will fit in a little bit easier. So just manipulate them so they're nice and tight in there like that, right? And then I'm going to choose myself a bead, and I've got these gorgeous ones. I think I got them from eBay or something like that. So I'm just going to choose myself a colour. There's a nice gold there. So let's pop the lid back on before they end up all over the floor. I've got my hot glue gun, so I'm just going to put that foot out the way. Move those in just a little bit more. I see some gaps, so I've got a little bit of space to play with. So I'm going to pop some hot glue in the middle, just a little dollop, doesn't have to be too much. And come on. And once you've done that, you can pop your bead in. So just drop it in and then push it into your hot glue like that. And there's some little thin bits hanging around, and that is my decoration. Right, let me grab some baker's twine and cut a piece of that to hang it up. So this is going to go on the tree. I love reds and greens at this time of year, which is why I've chosen these papers. Now, you can, let me bring this one in. This is one I did earlier, and I haven't actually put a bead in that, I've just noticed. Let me grab another gold one, and I'll put another gold one in the middle of this. So, dab of glue in the middle. I hate all the stringy bits, but you can't help it, can you? Pop that bead in like that. There we go. Now this is one, as I say, it's all dry, this one is, apart from the bead, but that won't take very long. So what you end up with is a decoration that looks like that with your bead in the middle, and you can put glitter and all sorts of things on there if you want. What you can do once you get to that stage is, if I can find where I put my little bit of card. Where have I popped that? I know I've put it somewhere safe, but the problem is then, oh, there we go. So you can cut yourself a piece of paper. Let me grab this. Right, so baker's twine. And I'm going to glue that. I'm going to use wet glue so that I can just manipulate it a little bit. Like that. So I tend to put it towards one of the points, but you can put it through the middle, wherever works for you. And then pop that down. And want to make sure I've got enough coming out the top so that I can hang it on the tray. I've also got a little bit of double-sided tape, which I will pop over just as a double hold while it's drying. There we go, like that. So this will hold it while it's drying. Now, what you can do is you can cut yourself. So this paper was 3 inches by 1.5 inches. So cut yourself a square that's 3 inches by 3 inches, and that fits beautifully over the top, and that covers all the workings and the way you put your the glue for your baker's twine and everything, and that is your decoration. Or what I like to do is pop that out the way, and I'm just going to take the backing off the double-sided tape. If I can do it without stabbing myself. There we go. And then I'm going to get my glue and I'm going to go all the way around this, not going to the points. And I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm just going round the edge of this like that. And I'm going to put a good dollop of glue in the middle as well. It's starting to clog up because I'd left it and not put my pin back in. So pop glue all the way around like that. And then my other one, the first one, so I've made two, as you can see, exactly the same. I've put my baker's twine on this one, and then I'm going to pop this one on top. So I then end up with a double-sided one. Now you've got a choice. You can either match it exactly over like that, or what I like to do is offset it a little bit so that this point, I could put it so that it matched on there, but I'm just turning it so that the point is there instead. So, and that goes all the way around like that. And let me just pinch it like that so that the glue comes in contact with everything. Oops, that has skewiffed a little bit there. Hold on 1 second. Ah, that's my double-sided tape has grabbed there, hasn't it? Hold on, I know. So my double-sided tape is just stuck on there. Oh, let me pull it. Pulling it apart now, aren't I? Right, there we go. Let's pop that back there. So I'm going to have to bring it a bit closer to me so I can see. In fact, I'm going to stand up so I can see, hover over the top. And that is all lined up, I think. That lined up, yes. Yep, there we go, all lined up. And then I can start pinching it all together like that, so that the glue and that double-sided tape can grab again. And you end up with a decoration that looks like that. Let me bring in the ones I've already made. So this is made with the same paper, which actually I think it's a Dovecraft one, just in case anybody wants to know. It is the season Dovecraft, and actually, if I remember rightly, I picked this up for 75 pence while I was on holiday in North Wales. We went up to Llandudno, and I think if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you'll know that there's a fabulous little craft shop in Llandudno on Mostyn Street that I do enjoy going for a visit. Wherever within North Wales, no matter where we are, we always have to drive up to Llandudno just so I can go to that craft shop. Let's move that out of the way. So these are both the same size, from the same papers, and as you can see, you can lift them up and they will hang beautifully on the tree. But you can do them, this one I've done with plain papers. Let me show you. And these are slightly bigger. These were 3.5 by 1 3/4. Let me just think. Yes, 1 3/4 papers. And these were incredibly cheap papers. These were the Poundland coloured card. They're 120 GSM. So they're really, really cheap papers. But actually, when you make something like that with them, they do look absolutely beautiful, and slightly bigger because they are a slightly bigger piece of card that I started off with. Yeah, 3.5 by 1 3/4, and these ones are 3 inch by 1.5 inch. So I think I'm going to make some more of these ones. And I might actually use those papers because I do like this blue and pink together. So I might do some more of these from in the porch tree. Maybe do them a little bit smaller, or maybe I'll do 3 larger ones, then 2 slightly smaller, maybe that size, and then maybe some more that are just a little bit shorter than this. So these are 3 by 1.5, maybe 2.5 by 1 3/4. So I'm going to go and have a play and make some more for my trees for this Christmas. Anyway, I hope you give them a try. They're great fun, very easy, and as I said, something definitely to do sat in front of the TV watching your favourite soaps with a box of chocolates and a nice cup of coffee. Anyway, I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.